everybody, this is Hybrid and I'll be reviewing Blue Beetle issues number 1 through 10 today. So overall I did enjoy the issues quite a bit, and with that being said, a few things I'd like to point out I guess regarding the 10 issues. First off being they don't, well basically Ted Kord was never Blue Beetle and no one else was Blue Beetle before Jaime. So you need to know that it's a change from the previous DC universe. They also make sure you know that the Scarab is from the Reach, and they put the level of technology that the Scarab has seemingly on par with the Green Lantern and other Lantern Corps technology. Also, we learn, or at least we don't learn, but we see that the Scarab and Jaime don't really get along all the time, and the Scarab will sometimes and regularly in the comic series so far override what Jaime wants to do, or he'll override actions of Jaime that he thinks will either protect Jaime or overall be for the greater good of obviously Jaime or the Scarab itself. So, with that being said, the relationship is not as comical as Young Justice portrays it, but more as kind of a, it's like a little brother that won't listen to you, you could say. Or actually, maybe a big brother that thinks he always knows the best way, but sometimes he might be wrong, but he just can't see it. And with that being said, an example would be the fact that at one point in the comic, issue number 5, I believe, as you can see, as I have all the comics kind of laid out there from 1 to 10, he ends up stabbing his best friend Paco, who then later on becomes a somewhat demented form of the Blue Beetle in issue number 6, because of the fact that Jaime resurrects him by using a kind of medical kit in the Scarab, you could say. So that's interesting. And with that being said as well, the whole stories, they don't really have any central plot. Like, they do mention each other every now and then, especially number 10 and number 9, where they kind of mention the fact that the Scarab is from the Reach, and that Jaime is somewhat wanted by the United States government, as he is considered a superhuman threat. And not only a superhuman threat, but he didn't exactly leave Texas with the best kind of public spotlight, you could say. And so yeah, he goes to New York, and I'm actually surprised he hasn't met the Teen Titans or Static yet, because they're all in New York City, or at least New York for that matter, and they're all around the same age group. So I hope later on they possibly meet each other. It'd be nice to see Jaime possibly join the Teen Titans. Maybe give, I don't know, Bunker another Hispanic, I guess, buddy he can talk to or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, overall, I'd probably give all the issues all in one an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy them, but I do hope they kind of expand more in a way where they end up getting a main storyline, not just him as a runaway right now and fighting, like, doing like side missions. Like, one point he stopped a burglar who had some weird time warping complex. Then another time he happened to get into a fight with the Guardians, and then he fought this mercenary. It's odd because none of these really make sense to a point where he'd be fighting them, but they do as more like in a video game as a side mission. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. But I do wish they'd give him like a main story. Maybe, like, let's say Paco gets the kind of demented Blue Beetle suit back, and Jaime has to go back and fight him, or something like that. Like, just a main story that we could focus a few issues on would be really nice, besides the origin story. But besides that, 8 out of 10. Jaime seems like a pretty cool character, just basically a kid that wants to do right, but then we have the Scarab basically telling him what to do and overriding him at times. But yeah, this is Hybrid and 8 out of 10.